let me do a quick intro. I probably should do that as a host. But I wanted to say thanks again to Kelvin, who is a longtime, participating members of our Asian Pacific Islanders Coalition, South Puget Sound. He was also the principal for the Vietnamese, language schools here in town in Olympia. But most importantly, he really has a passion for floral arrangement. So we are very happy to have Kelvin join us today to introduce his years of experience with Ikebana's floral arrangement, which he did a lot of this through his own learning himself. So now I can formally introduce you. And please go ahead and share a little bit about whatever you like to say, and then you can start. Okay, Kelvin? Thanks.
Thank you so much for your introduction. I just want to give you some background about when I was young, about 13 years old, and I go up to the terrace of my trees floor home, and I saw some chrysanthemum flowers blooming up there. And I think it's only me seeing that, and I think it's so wasteful. So I cut it down and I go downstairs and find a vase and I put them in. And at the end, my whole family see it and they really enjoy it. They say, "Oh, it's beautiful. Where is it?" And I say, "It's just upstairs." So from that day, that is the inspiration from sharing something to make my family happy. And I think they also have a saying during the LNI flower arrangement sale. People send it to me. They said that the flowers is the smile of the earth. And that event, I helping them for over 10 years. Every year we gather the vases and the flowers on donation, and I make and I sell to the employee with very little money, and I make the whole department happy. Not only myself, but I coordinate all the florists. So that's how I get further and further with flower arrangement. And I learned it myself. I just when I have free time or when I'm so stressed, I stop by at the grocery store and I look at the flower shop, and I just pick them up and I smell it, I touch it, and I go around there and I relax. That is where I distress. And I hope that you can do it yourself sometime, and you can go to where they have the fruit. It's colorful and the smell very good too. You don't have to spend the money for the counseling, or you have to go to Hawaii to spend the money. You can just go around and enjoy the flowers and the nature, and you can distress that way. First I can give you some simple one. Like this one is a very tall vase, and you use something tall to go together as a one piece. And in order to make sure the flowers fit with the height, you don't want the flowers just right at the neck. It doesn't look very nice. So you have to give them a little bit up. So just like the people who does not have a neck, they won't look very pretty, but people who have a high neck, they look more elegant. So don't make the flowers stand right at the neck of the vase. I take this bouquet because they have so many flowers blooming and it's thick, so it's really hard to stick in the small neck. And the reason why they have some vase with very small neck, because it's help the flowers stand there. For example, like this one too. But if we have the big one with big neck, they won't stand where you want to. So you have to use other things to stuff them in there. And this one, just the flowers itself, it doesn't look good yet. So I have to find something else to make it more lively. Oh, I forgot to show you. I have two tools. The big one is for the big branch, and the small one for small thing, like leaves. Okay, because you cannot use the big tool with the small item. It's much harder. And when you cut them, you have to make the angle of 45 degrees. And I usually have a box of garbage can next to me, so after I finish it, I don't mess up everything, and it's easier to clean. This one. Okay, this one, then I can use a different leaf. Let's try something smaller. This one.
So do you mind if I ask a quick question there?
Yes.
Kelvin, do you particularly wanted to think about the color combination when you are trying to find different kind of, flowers to make your arrangement?
Yeah, usually I pick the color they go together. For example, this white base, they can go any color. But if you pick this one like blue, blue and pink go together fine. But like if you go blue and red, they may not match. And that is something. It's easier to go white with every color. So the base sometimes is important because they can enhance the color of the bouquet. But sometimes I don't even just look at this one. It's a white bottle. After we drink it, I don't throw it away and I use it because they have pretty here. And when I have only one flowers or two or three small one, then I use this one. So I don't have to waste time to put them in the like a big vase with the big neck, or vase with big neck.
Thank you. I'm always just wondering, what is a good way for us to start something. So the color is always a question. And then I also
this is
understand
the leaf of the gladiolus.
Yeah. Okay. Great. For any one of you, if you have any question, feel free
yes.
to ask, because Kelvin have told me he likes interactions. So if you have any questions you want to ask as he is doing it, he will be able to answer your questions too. Okay. Thanks.
And the length of the flowers on the top of the vase sometimes is 2 foot, the height of the vase, or maybe a little bit like that, that's okay. But it depends on where do you put it. If you put them in the corner and it's fit into the whole situation, then it's look pretty. If you have a very big and pretty bouquet, but you put in a very busy place, messy, it's not really look pretty at all. You only need just one flowers in a very empty and clean place. This will make this very different. And many people, they just use the flowers, they don't use leaf. And I prefer to add on the leaf because the leaf will make them look more natural in the garden and in the vase too. So like this one, I just went to my friends today and asked for this one. This called the full moon Japanese marble. And they are very pretty, but because due to the heat, they are a little bit burned, so I trimmed them. But the burn, when you do the flower arrangement, sometime during the fall, the color look like a fall. It can matching with different color of the flowers. So I don't cut and throw away this one. Instead of use only the green one, I use the yellow also. It depends on the theme of whatever you want to make. Tomorrow I have to make a an arrangement for a funeral. So I would, that's why I have a lot of white in here. So because this vase is small, so I cannot put them in here. They won't hold proportion. So this one will be better, but because it's too short. So, and also if you use the you cut them and it's very tough here at the end, they may not absorb the water. I have to cut them to make the opening bigger. But because it's too short, I put them here, they won't stand. So I have to trim them in order to make them stable.
So you always wanted to cut the bottom part a little bit so the water can be absorbed into the leaves, right?
Yeah.
And the flowers.
But
okay.
It depends on the material too, because like I said, these Japanese marble, because they are big trees. So at the end of them, if at the end of them is too old, then there will be a piece of wood. It's harder for them to absorb and bring the water into to make them alive. So you have to cut them closer to the soft one in order for them to absorb and alive after a while. So I can pick either this one or this one. So between these two. Yes. If I have this one, then the flowers should be a short one. If I have this one, then the flower should be a little bit taller. You have to trim the end of them so to make the water have enough time to go up to the vase, up to the flowers. Because if they the time they get over here to the leaves, and when they go up here, is not enough to fit for the petals up here. But you don't want to trim all the leaves because then they look bare and it doesn't look very nice. So I would make this one. Okay, this one fit with this vase instead of this one. I want to save to make on this one. The reason is because every day, if you have time, you can trim just at the end. You trim very small part. Then you have a new fresh flower of water. That flowers will last much longer. This one can last at least 10 days if you change the water like every other day. You see, it looks prettier compared to the bare flowers. If I have another flower, it still doesn't look pretty as much as with the leaf. And usually they have the flowers, one flower, maybe 2 and 3, but they don't do 4. The odd number is the main key to do arrangement. But because sometimes you want to go to the wedding and you want to do 2 of them, just present for the groom and the bride, or you have 3 of them, present for the meaning of I love you. So I will make another one.
So
just
Kelvin,
remember,
there is
yes.
a question. Someone asked, why do we need to cut off the bottom of the stem? I think the description you were saying, you were your video was kind of in and out sometimes, so maybe they didn't hear that. But I believe you said that it was mainly to allow the water to be absorbed into the rest of the plants, right?
Yes, and also when you have a fresh cut, they absorb the water easier, better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like every day, then after a day to absorb the water, then that part will be old. and maybe 2 or 3 days they get yellow and they won't absorb the water anymore. Then the flowers will die very soon. If you have time, cut them, trim them at the end of the day and put them like outside when the weather is fresh, cool like yesterday. It keep like my flowers, people may keep about 4 or 5 days, and I can keep my flowers for 2 weeks, 10 to 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, because at the end I bring them out and I put out in front of my door. I don't put so far away because they may have a wind or may have a raccoon or something in there. But the cool weather outside can help them.
Great.
Now we can make on this one. Because it's short, it's small, and this is kind of a little bit too high compared to other. So, and also too busy. Then I will trim them first. These look prettier. And now I just have to find the flowers just about that area.
Okay, so for the flowers, you say the number is better to be in odd number. So 1, 3, 5, those are good numbers.
1, 3, 5, 7.
Okay. But
Unless
2 is okay too, sometimes.
Yes, 2 is okay. Because
but not 4.
A couple, but not 4.
Okay.
I think not 4 because if a Chinese 4 mean they say
yes, yeah. 4 is 死, which means yeah, it can be a bad number for us. So that's right. Thank you.
So this is something. Okay. I can use this one or I can use my hand, but the roses in Costco, they don't have many thorns. It's very good, but if you buy roses or you cut it from your yard, mostly the one you grow at home, very thorny. It's really dangerous. So you should use this one to trim them. But for this one, I can just use my hand, it's quicker. Then I measure the size. I can look at this one, just about this size. And then I measure from here, then I cut right there. Okay, take a look. It's too busy. So I have to trim the leaf from the rose to make it look simpler. But this looks better. Okay, and you can see they can tip over. So we have to find something to tuck on the back, keep them not not keep pull the back. This is a different color. This kind of yellow, and this is greener. I have the Susan Lazy turnaround. I should have this one because then I can see from the face. But now I'm on the back of the flowers of the arrangement. So let me see. And most of the arrangement I do, the flowers will die after 5 days. Then when I take the flowers out, my arrangement is still look pretty because all the leaves, they last much longer. You can see. So I think Ikebana, the reason why they have so many arrangements is very simple. The reason is they are very economic. They try to save the money. They cut the flowers from the garden. They don't buy a big bouquet like this. But American, they're so generous. They buy a huge bouquet, and they usually make a big one. With one American bouquet, like the roses from Costco, I can make 5 to 10 arrangements, and I can put in every single room, and I make my roommate and my whole family happy instead of just one.
That is so true. One thing about Ikebana is that you can just feature a simple couple of flowers and will, make the arrangement look very nice, as long as you can kind of, make it look pretty. So my understanding is that there are a lot of different kind of Ikebana style. So far, what you have shown are all, the standing kind, right? Upright. And so everything is upright. But there are also the kind that's slanted and allow the two ways, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
first,
will you be?
I want to pick just only one. The reason is because it's easier. You just a flower, a rose in your garden, and you want to bring it in, and you just need to cut one. You don't have to cut the whole thing, so people walk by, they can still enjoy the rest of them out there. And Ikebana, like I said, they don't use a lot. They use 1, 2, or 3, and maybe 5. I see that's much, not how much they use, but they will create the shape of like this, or maybe heart, like the triangle. So this is another one. You just see from the flyers, only the leaf is already look pretty itself. The leaf itself without the flowers. The jasmine I threw it away because it's old, but the shape is create the shape. Let me see if I put some leaves. Let's see, it will be pretty also. It's too tall. They will cover the gladiolus leaf. That is Irish. This is Irish. Iris bloom during May, and that is May flowers. And Iris represent for male, because they usually stand up. They're not like a bush. So you can see this one just the leaf, the marble, and this one. I think this one is too big. They cover because this one's small. I picked this one because it's proportioned with the frame of the vase. And I bought this one from bonsai auction, and they have just they call the frog with needles underneath it, so you can stick the flowers in there to make an arrangement. And this is the flowers of the marble. And let me see if I can get. Just one. It's too bad that we don't have any way to zoom them in. But look how we can make them pretty. Just one of them, and that's pretty. Now, I bought this vase, Japanese style, and they have the frog in there, just black color. And Japanese, they usually use black. They don't have a lot of color. I don't know why, but they can make the arrangement stand out more instead of we look at the vase. This one, I think I bought about $25, and they have a frog inside. And because they have the big neck, but they have the frog inside, so you can help them stable. But if with the big neck with no frog in there, you may use some glass ball put inside so they can hold them, but it's much harder. Thank you. But in order for you to make the flower stand, you may have to use something bushy a little bit to hold the flower in the place if they don't have the frog. Okay, let's see which one I should pick. I will pick the one who are not very bushy, the small one. This one won't give a shape, pretty shape. So let's see.
Talking about shape, earlier I was just trying to describe there are some different kind of styles of Ikebana, and one of those is the slanted style. I believe there is also a cascading style, which is allowing a lot of different flowers flowing 360
just like bonsai. They have
like a bonsai,
style.
Right? So so do you have some basic principle you can share about maybe the different styles?
Yeah, I will try to make this so you can see how they look like.
You still have that black face, right? So you are going to finish that one, right? We may be able to use that.
I tried to find out how if you have the model already, then it's easier. But if you don't have the model to copy, then you have to take time to look at the material you have and the vase you have and try to find out what shape is it, or what shape you would like to find. So they have the empty space here. So I pick the flowers which match just right in that place. But because I think too many leaves, I need to get more flowers to make them look a little bit not lonely. With this kind of flowers, I use this one. But this one, I want to use this because otherwise, they make this one will be dull when you use tough material, when you cut tough branches. Sometimes these two, you can cut one of them instead of cut two of them, because at the end, they're so small. When you put into the needles, they may not stand by itself. So you can save both of them and cut them together. And remember, when you cut them, cut this. You don't want to cut in the middle of the knot, because the knot may not absorb the water as much as in the middle. Try to make an arrangement which you, if you see they into this, and the face will face to this side. So this side is the face. So, and I try to face the flowers to the face of the vase. If it's rounded, then you have to make them 3D. This one you can make them just 2D.
Ah, that looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
And also different height, right? Can be created with a floral arrangement.
And this one, I think I may find some branches to put on it. But let's see. And I would think about where I can get some branches to look as more natural, because the branch will, not many people put the branch in there, because the branch for me is like life. You have struggle. you have to struggle through many hurdles, and branches present that you have been through a hard time, and this is a time, a happy time. You survive, and it's a victory. And sometimes I just throw the branch in there, and it looks really pretty. So it doesn't have to be flowers to make it look. Okay, this is something. Is the branch from the gladiolus. Instead of throw it away, I use sort of small one, and this will, you want to see, they may create a better look.
Oh, that's very nice. So
And
you just take the branches from the iris, huh?
From the gladiolus.
Oh, got you. Oh, okay, got you. All
Instead
right.
of throw it away, I reuse it.
Okay.
Usually the one with the frog like this is cost more than vase like this. Okay. The vase like this can buy from a $1 store. This one from $1 store too, but this is free from a bottle. So I learned from Japanese. They are very economic. They reuse and they don't spend too much money, just like American. It's very wasteful. Okay, now I can use this one. This one with the big neck. So I have to use something to hold them up. Otherwise, the flowers won't stand. For example. Okay. This one cannot look pretty. Okay. First, you have to make them shorter. So it can be a little bit taller than the vase, but it cannot be too short like this. And you use your finger to find out where you should cut. See, they won't stay. So you have to use the leaf. The green, we call the green, the filler, or the leaf, to fill up the neck first.
It's very interesting. There are some basic principles of all of the different kind of floral arrangement, because with the other floral arrangement I have learned is that you also try to get all the greens, all the fillers, and you arrange them first, and then you put the flowers in the middle. So the Ikebana is similar. You kind of see what kind of green you want first, and then you place the flowers strategically only in certain spot. That's really good to know.
I think this one a little bit too busy, bushy. So let me trim them first to find, or maybe I just cut them and trim this one instead. They're so low, very lonely here. So I will find something else. Okay. When you can make them even, or you can make them just on the top of it, just like a husband and a wife, a boy and a girl. They need to be off a little bit. If they both look pretty when they are the same, but they will be prettier if they off a little bit. That's more artistic. I have to stuff them a little bit more so they won't move when I. Now I will pick some of these flowers to. This color, they have white, but they also have a little bit light green. So they're matching with the green of the leaf. So you see the reflection, they all go together. And I like this one because they have two colors, white and green. Just like they all blend in together. But the roses also, if the roses, they have two colors, like on the top of them, they have a different color, like white, and they have the pink on the top. First, they look prettier. Second, they last much longer. They're tougher, and they have more petal. And when they open up, most of them, they leave that shape. So they just open very big like that, and or they fell off. But the two color, they stick like this. You won't open that big. It depends on what kind of flowers, but two color, I prefer to pick the two color roses. And usually we put the big flowers lower. We don't put them bigger up here because it looks unbalanced. So I would pick this one just about that level, and I use my hand to measure it. I don't have to cut many times.
Very nice. I like that. So the larger flowers, you will always put them closer to the base. And then the smaller flowers can be higher up on different kind of height. Okay.
Just like the bud of any flowers is much smaller.
Okay.
So it's create the shape of the triangle. This one is pretty, but if you want more color in there, they may look a little bit busy. And my key is 3 things or 3 color maximum. I don't ever put more than 3 color. I think American is the bouquet. Many of them is multicolor, and they look prettier with many color. But just like when you are so happy, you're on the top, and then when you drop down, you feel much worse. So Asian philosophy try to maintain the parabol is as flat as possible. When American try to get into a roller coaster really high, and then when you go down, you go so deep, and you're so depressed, and then you have to fight to boost your energy up, and it's totally the opposite. Two different style in Asian and American Western style. In the flower arrangement, you can see that. This is another one. You see, they look really cute. And when they do like this, they dangling like this, it's like the earring with the long, like you, Lin, you have it. It's look more graceful and elegant, like more female. So this one looks so tough. They just stand there, and this can make them look better. But because the neck is so tight and the stem is so big, so I cannot stuff them in there. And this one is very sad because I bought them a few days ago. So I try to put them in this. When you pick this one, try don't tear them like that. They may and it may get water in, and it won't last very long. So try to pick them like that, pick them up. Because sometimes when I use this, I may make the mistake. So sometimes I prefer to use my hand because I know how to do it with my hand.
Very nice. I like that. It also goes to different kind of directions too. So it will look pretty from all directions. Mm-hmm.
And because each of them would bend a little bit different, so you try to find the angle and pick the right one, so you don't have to adjust too much. And this one straight, then I usually put them up. And this one a little bit curved, I put them down. Okay, I don't put even. When it's even, it's not artistic. When it's off, it looks prettier. Any question?
Yeah, do anyone have any question? I know Joy is sometimes having some issues with her internet connections there. She keep coming in and then out, so I hope that she will be able to join us back later. But do any one of you have any question? Wendy and Lassie, is that right? I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry.
No question.
Okay.
Is that better?
Ah, that looks very nice. Mm.
They have the different shape, round. They have the different size, small and bigger. They have different texture. Then it makes it more richer, different material, different texture, but not too many things. For example, like this 1, 2 things. That's enough. I don't want to put another thing in there. It's cost more, but it's not prettier.
Okay. So basically, you want to look at the texture of the plants, the size as well as the shape of the flowers, and then you want to kind of play with the different height, right? And no more than 3 different kind of flowers, or you know, in one arrangement. Usually
3 colors.
Oh, 3 colors.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now I take the big one. Okay, this vase may cost at least $35, $40 itself. So the vase you can use as the decoration by itself. You don't have to put flowers in here. They already pretty. But when I have flowers, I want to utilize it to make both the vase and the flowers pretty. For example, in any occasion, like my parents' birthday, and probably I use it. But this one is more like temporary. So it's like maybe for my parents, it might be not a good choice. It's not fit in, but I will pick something. This one can be a better choice for someone old and more valuable, and probably this one. And the roses can fit this one. It's okay, but for me, I think the chrysanthemum or mum will fit this vase better, like more Asian and more antique. So flowers Sometimes you mix them together, but sometimes you find the one matching with the vase. Roses matching with the big vase, contemporary, because it's more elegant and they more classy. And this is more antique. Chrysanthemum and mum fit in with this one. Not only the color, but also the material and the style. I will pick this one. I will put this one, and you can see when I have a bucket with flowers, I try to make it look pretty itself. Yeah, I don't there. And I remember one time when I go to Vietnam, and in Hanoi, every morning I go out and I see the a woman who has a small basket like that, and she put just few of them, like just not just 2/3 of these flowers, and it's behind her bicycle. That look pretty by itself. And people who do things artistic like that, they can attract more people, and also it's easier for them to manage. And when they sell it, they don't break. Excuse me. And for example, like this one, you have to face them out because of the flowers blooming. But if this one they don't have flowers yet, you can stuck them in the middle. The same way when you make the arrangement, do the same thing. I have the water in here yet, but I can do it later. For this. I can give you this tip. When I make an arrangement, today I did a little bit opposite. Usually I make the big one first. The reason is when we do the big one and the small one, you can put it in the small vase. And for example, if I break this one, I can use this one in the small one and it's still pretty. So if I do the small one first and then chop all of them, just like when I work for L&I, many people, they don't used to do it. They pick all the best on the top, and when I have the big one, all of them is short and I cannot make it. So I have to use this leaf, and I like it. I bought this one and they have two colors, just like this one. See that much? But this is a big bush, so probably I will use this one for this. So I will put this one right here, and I will use this one. That's good enough. We don't have to break the big one, as long as this make it pretty. Anybody has any question?
I think sometimes I just kind of have to see how you are arranging it, because when you have two flowers in the front, I kind of feel like the background, if you don't have something there, it's missing something. So now when you have three
See,
of
that's why I
those,
put this one.
put in there, that feels a lot more balanced. So that's really good to see.
It's a little bit different this time because I want to do it this side so I can face it, but because I want you to see it, then you can see different the other side of the process. And I had to reverse myself because I never done this before.
Right. I understand. That's great.
And this one, these three flowers is like the back of the chair, so you can lean on, so it look more stable that way. So you observe this very well. Now probably I want to add a little bit up here. You can see it's much stronger, like the lean on it.
Yeah, feels like you have more support there too.
Yeah.
So even though it's not a big bouquet, it feels really supported, well balanced, but still you have some focus, which are the flowers in the front. That's good. I hope I'm not just the only one who are making this kind of comment. So if any one of you have anything you want to ask, feel free to. But I can actually see how you are doing it.
Look at this one. When they're hiding behind these flowers in the middle, doesn't look nice. So you have to make them stand in the middle so they can show up. It can be just like taking a picture. You don't want anybody behind someone. You want to show all the faces.
You know, Kelvin, when we are doing photography, we actually have the 3 parts principles too, that in each of the pictures, you want to kind of divide it up into 3, both horizontally and vertically. And then you try to place your object or the person in those spots where it's the 1/3 or the 2/3 point. You don't put them in some really weird, awkward positions. It's the same thing, I think, with this floral arrangement principle here. I can see that.
And this one, I put this one to make them stronger, just like the back to lean on. And when I put this one on this side, you can see they are off. They are not conservative. They are not balanced. But because they have the handle on this side, look at the handle of this face. So the vase itself is not balanced. So we have to lean and base on that shape and make them look like this. Look like a teapot. And this small one, right in the middle, just like a necklace. You see, look pretty.
That really is pretty. I like that little touch in the front. It's pretty.
The necklace look here. Many people, they make this pretty up here, but they forget about the neck. So if the woman has the dress have a big neck, they want to put the necklace here to show up how pretty the neck is. So the vase the same. The vase just the same thing. So this is finished, but now we can work on this one. And personally, I like to work on a small item like that because it's easier. It takes less energy. I don't have to use so much of my brain. I prefer small pieces. This is not my style. This is American style because it takes more energy and I have to buy more flowers and I have to create with the different style. And that is not it's not Ikebana. Ikebana, they can do a big one, but then they are in the higher level. I'm just the beginning.
Well, I realized that our time is already, 5 here. So I wanted to kind of honor your time too. But I just want to say thank you for showing us so many different kind of containers and then, different kind of way to arrange things to allow a really beautiful floral arrangement to appear right in front of our eyes. So thank you so much. I do want to say that you can continue working on that. If people have any question, maybe I can, save the last 2 minutes really quickly since we started at, 4 or 5. So that's go ahead and allow at least a couple of minutes for people to ask some question if there is any other question you'd like to ask. Okay? Anyone? You can continue too, Kelvin, because I know you already got the container out, so you probably want to finish it.
Okay, look at this one. No flowers yet. It's still pretty. It's pretty itself with the leaf because the leaf have the shape and they have different color, different texture, and these go together itself. And green and blue is go together very well. And when I don't have money, I don't buy flowers. I just go to my garden and cut leaves and put them in there. It's still pretty anyway. So you don't have to waste your money. You have to.
Uh-oh. I think we finally have some internet issues seriously impacting your transmission now, Kelvin. Oh, well, I guess maybe there are a lot of other people around your neighborhood that are using internet too, but it's okay. Again, like what I said, it is already time. So we want to thank you again for your participation. And hopefully you all learned along with me some of those. And thank you so much again for your participation. And we hope to see you next month. Again, our event will always happen for the cultural workshops on the second Saturday of every month. So we will see you hopefully in August. Thank you so much.